About a Mountain 2010 is a nonfiction work by American essayist John DeGatta. The book explores the U.S. government's proposal to construct a nuclear waste storage facility at Yucca Mountain, located just outside Las Vegas. It blends environmental journalism with philosophical reflections on the meaning of Las Vegas, ultimately painting a bleak picture of the American dream. The book was praised by critics as a sublime reading experience, aesthetically rewarding and marked by moral courage and humility. Publishers Weekly. The narrative begins with DeGatta arriving in Las Vegas to help his mother settle into her new home. However, he becomes quickly distracted by the city itself, which he feels compelled to explore. He soon learns that the federal government plans to build a nuclear waste storage facility at Yucca Mountain, not far from the city. Curious, DeGatta delves deeper into the project and discovers that the facility will house highly radioactive waste, which must remain secure for 10,000 years. As he investigates further, DeGatta finds that this timeline is arbitrary. A report from the Committee on the Technical Bases for Yucca Mountain Standards suggests that the facility may need to remain secure for as long as 1 million years, far beyond the proposed 10,000-year span. This realization highlights the challenge of predicting the future, as it's impossible to foresee whether humanity will even exist in 10,000 years. Reflecting on history, DeGatta notes that 10,000 years ago, there was no written language or civilization. As DeGatta continues to investigate Yucca Mountain, he also digs into the paradox of Las Vegas. Despite the city's image as a haven of pleasure and luxury, it ranks as one of the least happy places in America, with high rates of suicides, smoking, drug addiction, drunk driving, bankruptcies, divorces, and high school dropouts. Yet its public image remains largely untarnished. Quoting a Time article that dubs Las Vegas the new all-American city, DeGatta is especially struck by the high suicide rate and volunteers at a suicide hotline. During his training, he is instructed never to ask a caller why. But when he learns that Levi Presley, a teenage boy, has committed suicide by jumping from the stratosphere, Las Vegas's tallest hotel and casino, DeGatta suspects he may have spoken to Presley shortly before his death. He becomes obsessed with understanding the reasons behind Presley's suicide and interviews the boy's family and friends in a quest for answers. Meanwhile, DeGatta discovers that the Yucca Mountain site is profoundly unsuitable for storing nuclear waste. Positioned on a geological fault line with porous rock and no viable access route that doesn't pass through a major city, the site is a ticking time bomb. As DeGatta notes, on a 10,000-year timeline or longer, these accidents are inevitable. Proceeding with such a plan would amount to national suicide. When he asks nuclear waste consultant Bob Halstead what would happen to Las Vegas in the event of an accident, Halstead responds, "We'd forfeit Las Vegas to the desert. The city would no longer exist." This statement deeply resonates with DeGatta, who has spent time examining the city's intricacies. He lists the everyday details of Vegas: every traffic lamp and bulb and post, every sidewalk square and concrete curb, every newspaper stand, every call girl ad. Yet even without a nuclear disaster, DeGatta reflects, the passage of 10,000 years or more would likely result in the loss of all these things, regardless of the site's fate. The book reaches its climax with DeGatta's exploration of a critical issue with the Yucca Mountain proposal. Not only must the site remain secure for at least 10,000 years, but the warning system itself must also endure. This is a daunting challenge as language evolves, and even symbolic representations may become indecipherable. A specialized committee has been assembled to address this problem, and DeGatta describes their proposed solutions, which involve creating disturbing and perplexing puzzles for future generations. One suggestion is to encircle the mountain with an unwelcoming and uninhabitable wasteland made of black basalt. Another involves creating an echoing aural effect from a series of stone sculptures that would emit a single pitch in the wind. For DeGatta, these ideas stretch the limits of meaning and our ability to communicate it. He reflects on the committee's conclusion. "We must find ourselves," the panel says, "having an experience, an essaying into the purpose of what's apparently purposeless, an essaying that tries desperately to cull significance from the place, but an essaying, says the panel, that must ultimately fail. The book ends uneasily with Degada's thoughts on the Yucca Mountain project. Like Levi Presley's suicide, it represents an unsolvable problem. I do not think that Yucca Mountain is a solution or a problem, he concludes. I think that what I believe is that the mountain is where we are. It's what we now have come to, a place that we have studied more thoroughly at this point than any other parcel of land in the world, and still it remains unknown, revealing only the fragility of our capacity to know. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.